of you thought that Katrina was an accident, when there's people of color that have been interviewed from the Ninth Ward to tell you, even after the storm left, when the storm was quieting, they heard a noise. The levees were blue, man. They blew the levees. Then you had George Bush, flew past New Orleans and looked at the flood, and flew by, didn't even touch down. You had our people climbing out of ceilings, making holes from their ceilings to get refuge on the roof. You had our people floating on water, dead, diseased water. Had us living like caged animals as refugees, publicized for the whole earth. You didn't even call these people Americans. You called them refugees. And by calling them refugees, they had no American rights. Under the Constitution, they were not allowed to leave their area. Those that could escape tried to go over a bridge and were stopped by deputies. This was a test for what they're going to do nationwide with the next fake attack that this government will plan on its own country. You are the terrorists. Right now in Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas, they're running martial law tests. They can pull you over, and they're testing how to detain people under martial law. They are interrogating these people, holding them for days without letting them call their families. Y'all don't understand what's about to happen, man. And when that happened in Katrina, who received all the power? All the power went to the state, from the state to the government under FEMA. So all the laws under FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Association, all the power goes to FEMA. FEMA just signed over a $3 billion contract with the government. To do what? To prepare for a martial law they didn't even tell you about. That's why we came. We'll let you know, brothers and sisters, while you out here trying to get vanilla Dutches and shaking your behind, they got a plan to kill you. You notice in the 90s, they took bars, they put bars on all your subway systems. You don't believe me? Go and check out your subways. The orange line and the green line, the orange line and the blue line. Certain time at night they lock it. In a state of an emergency, they're going to, the U.S. Army in Blackwater will come to your neighborhoods and escort you to your trains and lock the doors. They will do express trains down to the Navy base here in Philadelphia. They're going to do this all over the earth. Here's a FEMA detention camp train right now. It's 3 stories high. Why do FEMA have this train? Why are they not telling the American public what these trains are all about? You think the Jewish Holocaust was something? That was child's play compared to what they're going to do to you. Another thing, hold this for me, brother. Somebody tell me why I'm looking at, apparently all contingency are being taken care of. Photographers have snapped pictures of an estimated 500,000 plastic coffins in Georgia. Why do they have plastic coffins waiting in the middle of nowhere in Georgia? Huh? We're going to show you. This is the government now. They have these coffins just sitting there. People have snuck in and took pictures of the army planning a mass slaughter on their own people. On their own people. I'm going to read this. It says the United States government have what they call a red or blue list. Those on the red list will be woken up at 4 a.m. and taken to the camps and probably killed. There's concentration camps. In 1984, under Ronald Reagan, he signed a bill that turned the King Alfred Plan into Rex 84 to include not only people of color like black people, to include the Latinos to be rounded up. It's called Rex 84. Through Rex 84, they can turn their Navy and Army bases into concentration or prison camps. If you don't believe me, check out the Fort Dix camp in New Jersey. It's called Rex 84. This stuff is legislation, folks. We didn't make this up. Congress know about this. The Senate know about this. They haven't told you because if you knew, the whole earth, the whole America would be in a state of emergency right now.
Civilian labor camps.
Huh?
They got civilian labor camps all throughout the U.S. The largest one is in Alaska.
Yes.
That's a fact. Yeah, I've seen one in Halton, Maine.
I need you to say, come here, come over, talk to me, brother, come on.
Yeah, man, I'm just...
Say it again.
He's right. Like, I lived in Maine, and then in Halton, Maine, they built, it's a civilian labor camp. It's funded by the government. And basically it's this big fenced off area with like watchtowers in this field, and it's got this big building that looks like a prison. There's a checkpoint in the front, and they had military doing exercises, but there's like tractor trailer trucks with the back of them. They had like these boxes like with bars or whatnot, and they were doing drills, like pretending like, you know, there was people on the tractor trailer trucks running them off and like, you know, doing the whole, I don't know, drills. But they're training the military and everything. They have civilian labor camps. It's a fact. He's right.
And I'm going to read it. Thank you, man. Civilian labor camp. They're not telling you anything. They're just filling you with the airwaves, and Satan is the principality of the powers of the air. They're going to just continue to program you until they wake you up and make you go to your train stations. They're not telling you this. Your preachers are not telling you this. When they declare martial law, they will use your stepping, fetching preacher to guide you to the trains and tell you to follow your government. That's what's about to happen, man. And because you trust your preacher and think he's a man of God, you're going to follow him to your death. Christ spoke of these camps. Christ spoke of those that would follow him would have to go through persecution at the end. So we out here begging you, man, to understand and wake up, man. Begging you. We're going to lose so many people, brothers and sisters. You're going to find out your government is at war with you. They're at war with you. They're not looking for Al-Qaeda. You is Al-Qaeda.
Thank you.
They're at war with you, man. Here it is, they say they're chasing people with turbans, but yet now, they're locking us up under terrorist legislation now, calling us terrorists now. They're not looking for people in turbans, man. We are the terrorists. There's more. The red list. Here's the people that are placed on red list. I know we're on the red list, but I'm going to read it. These people are the enemies of the New World Order. They are the leaders of patriot groups, outspoken ministers like us, outspoken talk show hosts, community leaders, outspoken and probably net leaders. These people will be dragged out of their homes at 4 a.m. and will be taken to FEMA detention centers and killed. Now don't say it can't happen, because ask the Jewish people, can this happen? And like